The naive person, who only accepts as real what he can see with his eyes and grasp with his hands, also demands motives for his moral life that can be perceived with the senses. He needs someone to communicate the grounds for action to him in a way that is understandable to his senses. He will allow these grounds of action to be dictated to him as commands by a person whom he considers wiser and more powerful than himself. In this way, there result as moral principles the authority of family, state, society, church, and divinity. The most narrow-minded person still submits to the authority of one particular person. He who is a little more advanced allows his ethical conduct to be dictated by a majority. In every case, he relies on some power that can be perceived. When at last the conviction dawns on someone that his authorities are, after all, human beings just as weak as himself, then he seeks guidance from a higher power, from a divine being, with features perceptible to the senses. He conceives this being as communicating to him the conceptual content of his moral life in a perceptible way, believing, for example, that God appeared in a burning bush, or that he walked among the people in human form, telling them in ways audible to their ears what to do and what not to do. At the highest ethical level of naive realism, the moral law, the moral idea, is separated from every external being and is thought of hypothetically as an absolute power within oneself. What is first heard as the external voice of God is now perceived as an independent power in his own mind. He now speaks of it in a way that identifies it with the voice of conscience. For the dualist, who thinks of the Absolute as a spiritual being, the moral laws will appear to be dictated by this spiritual being. There is no room for freedom in spiritualism. The spiritual dualist makes the human being a slave to the will of the Absolute.